All right. Let's see. All right, guys. Good morning. Welcome to our morning note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. One of you guys yesterday said that you hear me better without the headphones. So I guess that microphone, these are my headphones right here. I guess the microphone isn't as good on this thing. So I'm just using the actual iMac microphone. So hopefully that works. But either way, back at it. It is Thursday, October 22nd, 2020. Thank you so much for joining me again. Before we begin, make sure to click the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. That is the link to subscribe, to like, and make sure to turn on notifications for our channel. Really do appreciate that. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. Let me see exactly where we are currently. Once we get to 5,000, I will do a live trading session with you guys. I know that'll be very fun. Let's see where we are at currently. We're at 4,956 subscribers. Let's get to 5,000 and then live trading session. I do have a lecture on Saturday with the University of Maryland, so I'm doing a live trading session with them. It'll be recorded, but it's just for them. So obviously I want to do one with you guys. That'll be live, not recorded. Well, it'll be recorded for later on, but either way, let's go ahead and begin. Let's talk markets. Dow futures down 59. Mind you, we were down a lot more yesterday. I think it was down as much as 230 when the FBI reported that there was some election interference with some spoofing emails from either Iran or Russia or both. That brought markets down, and then markets miraculously bounced back up. 3,400 on the S&P is your support level. That is a big support level. If we break that, then it could get a little uglier. But until then, we've been kind of hovering around 3,410. Like I said, Dow futures down 56, NASDAQ down 24, S&P futures down 8, right around 34.24. Russell 2000 index, it is outperforming today, actually green 0.24%, so small caps. Crude oil is up about 0.5% at 40.24. That 40 level has been holding. Bitcoin continues to be on a tear. It's been flirting with that 13,000 level, up about 1.5%. Again, I've been saying I'm long Bitcoin. I always have been. Gold futures down 1%, 1908. Silver futures 24.77, down 1.87%. The metals have been very hard to trade, and I understand why people want to trade it. It's been, oh, well, if we get a stimulus deal, then gold and silver will go up. Well, we haven't had one yet, so it's kind of hard to play that. Dollar is actually up today 0.26% at 92.85 on the index. Euro dollar is down 35 pips at 118.26, and dollar yen is basically flat at 104.59 for my Forex people. Take a look at the VIX. VIX is still that 30.63 level. 30 has been that resistance on the VIX. Again, every time it's tapped around 30 or flirted around 30, it drops. So it's up about 1.71%, 29.14 currently. Let's go over some headlines here. As you know, Tesla did report yesterday. They actually slammed it. They did great. Tesla right now is at 441.30. Let's go ahead and take a look at some pre-market movers together. Feel free to join me on investing.com, and you could see this in the morning. AT&T reported better than expected numbers, up 4.42%. Let's see what else is moving. Apple up 0.41%. Coca-Cola had a good earnings report, up 2.64%. Boeing up 0.45% as Southwest Airlines is talking about more planes. Intel down slightly, 0.19%. Cisco down 0.67%. Verizon up 0.25% on their earnings report from yesterday. Let's see the S&P. The S&P, Ford is up 1%. Freeport-McMoRan up 0.45%. Southwest Airlines, 1%. Probably one of the better airlines out there. I own Delta. I do not own Southwest Airlines. But that'd be an airline that I would probably want to get into. In the NASDAQ, what's moving here? SiriusXM up 0.239%. Tesla up 4.41% after their earnings report. Zoom up 1.5% as well. Facebook basically flat at down 0.10%. Align, which are the braces company. Obviously, everyone's getting braces now when everyone's home, I guess. About 25% pre-market. Never really checked the options there, but take a look at that. All right, so let's kind of move this away here. Let's see what else we have here in regards to headlines for you guys. If you want to see the headlines first, keep in mind, always give us a follow on GAR Capital. It's free, of course, and we always give you the information you need regarding the markets. We try to get to you guys, try to get to that information first. It's kind of hard to keep up with information on Instagram, Twitter. Twitter's just a lot easier. So let us be your news and newspaper for you. Again, just the news for you guys. We try to stay as balanced as possible. Obviously, there's some politics in there. Obviously, we don't really do any political commentary, but for the most part, it's just polls and what's moving in the market. Anything that has to do with the market is what we repost. It's really important. And once in a while, I'll talk about soccer here and there. If Barcelona loses, I'll laugh at their expense on GAR Capital. Obviously, I'm just having fun. Okay, so talking about the stimulus deal, U.S. House Speaker Pelosi says soon we'll be ready to put pen and paper on stimulus bill. Stop me if we've heard this before. We also had initial jobless claims, 787,000. The estimate was 870,000. So that's good. The market didn't really cheer that. It actually fell a little bit, but now we're kind of bouncing up slightly. So it really just depends on more of that stimulus talk if we're going to get anything out of it. But for the most part, that's where we are. So, I mean, it's just been a very, very, very choppy one. If you want to take a look at E-mini futures, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here. You can see right around here, this level, we've been chopping around between 34.55 and around 34.20. 30 handles, and then we had the breakdown from the FBI thing yesterday, and then we bounced. We reverted back to the mean. So you really can't do anything here, especially on SPY or NASDAQ or anything like that. What I've been focusing on is the names that have been moving, the momentum names. With the students, I played PayPal yesterday. We caught about, I think it was like 25% on that thing. So it worked out. We also had Snapchat. Again, that was an earnings play, but it was pure technicals there. I got some other trades with them as well. But again, the momentum names, like a Space kind of came down after Jim Chano said that he was just being sarcastic in regards to his call. So obviously I'm down on it. We are down on it. But we also had some headlines here saying that Morgan Stanley is evaluating Spacex, which is Elon Musk's space company, to $100 billion. So that should be a nice little catalyst for space. Maybe it pops out of this kind of funk here. 21.5 is your level if you break above that. So my goal here is I still have space. So I'm thinking that we can get a little more juice here and maybe salvage some premium. But again, I don't want to sell at the lows. That's my main thing. We did break the moving averages, but again, space does like to move. It moved about 10% down yesterday for the most part. But in regards to the entire market itself, it's just been very much choppy. So it's very important to start just looking for opportunities in single names, like a Twitter, like a Pinterest, like a Zoom, like a Peloton, which was downgraded today. These names that have been moving, CGC, there's a couple out there that really doesn't have anything to deal with the stimulus talk. Same thing with space. It has nothing to do with stimulus. Again, these are just technical plays, and again, you get some upgrades and downgrades. I would focus on those names, the momentum ones that move, like a Roku, for example. Then SPY, Qs, Apple, Facebook. Well, Facebook did great. Apple, Google, Amazon, they're not moving as much. So again, I would focus on those. Looking at IWM did move. So again, could be in play, but it's still below. There is a gap to fill around 160, 176. So I'd probably look at that level. Maybe 161 could be in play. I'd go for next week on IWM, but let's see if we can get out of this here. There's a little downwards trend here, so maybe 160.50. If you break above 160.50, you can go for this gap fill right around 160.150, maybe 161.73. Maybe the 162 calls could be a good trade there. I'd take a look and see if IWM does move. IWM is outperforming all the indices, so that's one I'd be watching for today. I put my alert at 160.50. Feel free to do that with me. Again, on the other moves on the other side, I mean, we just have to see exactly, always have your options watch list of stocks that move. That's always important. I think Twitter has a little more room to run. I think if you get a break of 50.53, you can definitely take a look at maybe some 52 calls for next week. That'd be a good play. Again, ascending triangle, it's been holding up. Stimulus proof in a sense, not really much to do with stimulus there on Twitter. And they do report next week. So again, maybe you can get that run up into earnings and catch that. Remember, Snapchat had a really great quarter. The social media stocks went up with it. Twitter could be moving up as well in regards to the great Snapchat call. Twitter is actually a bigger market cap and a better performer. Well, actually, Snapchat's been better performing, but Twitter has been better performing than Facebook. So again, the thesis is there that the social media stocks are actually gaining traction here. So I think Twitter would be the better play here. If you break 50.53, that'd be a nice entry level to go into some calls. So let's answer some questions. Tesla to the moon. Thoughts on ARK or AKRW for long term? I think ARKK is fine. That's the innovation ETF. Only thing I don't like the expense ratio. That's why the cheaper ETFs like a SPY-G is a little better. So I'm not against it, but again, keep in mind expense ratios eat. Thoughts on T? I own T long term, mind you. I do own it just for the dividend. It is breaking above the 200 day. When it comes to options, just skip it. Options playing on T sucks. If you own it, it's purely for the dividend, mind you. So again, I think you're getting about a 7% yield. That's the only reason you're owning it. If you want to own some, that's fine. My investment thesis is now that when money is very cheap with the Fed, you want to go for growth. When rates go up and money is a little more scarce in a sense, then you want to go for dividends. But right now, this isn't a growth market. You want to go for the aggressive growth, depending on your age, like a Zoom, like a Peloton, like a Twitter, like a Square, like a PayPal, like Facebook, Nvidia, AMD. Those names would be the ones that I would focus on, and I'd leave T behind. If you want to put a little slice of your portfolio in some dividend stocks, I'm okay with it. I have some, but again, for the most part, I'd focus on more growth. Thoughts on Square in the future? I love Square long term. I actually bought some, and I think that they were ahead of the game when it comes to Bitcoin. PayPal is just coming up from behind. I think Square, there's a buying opportunity for sure. I already bought some, so again, I'm going to wait a little more. I haven't learned at 150 to buy more. If it hits that, then I'll definitely buy some more. Right around 165 could be a good level to go ahead and buy some on Square. I love Square long term. I just hate myself for waiting so long to buy it. I used to own it. I sold it. I think I sold it like at 85. Dumb. And obviously I bought other names, so I did well. But again, still, I could have had that run up and doubled my money, way more than double my money. And we liked Square for years now, if you've been following us on Instagram. But I actually bought some, I believe at 183 or something like that, or 185 recently. So I'm still holding. I don't care. I'm holding that long term anyways, but I love Square here. PayPal calls. I played PayPal with the students yesterday. Let's take a look at PayPal together. If you do break that wick high, which would be the all-time high, then it'd be interesting to play. But again, I think Twitter is a better play here. So again, I think Twitter is better than PayPal. I do like PayPal though. What do you think about Amazon? Love Amazon long term. I believe they report in 2 weeks and not next week. It's an expensive one to trade, but again, like I said, Apple, Google, and Amazon have just been sideways with the market. If you could see, E-mini futures and Amazon has been pretty much correlated. Amazon is probably the third largest holding of the S&P behind Microsoft and Apple. So again, you're going to have that correlation with the market. So again, if the market's chop, Amazon's going to be chop. But if you're a shareholder, you don't do anything here. Snow. Let's take a look at Snow. I think that's Snowflake, right? Yeah, nice little breakout here. It's still 278.26 is your all-time high or your recent high. You want to see if you could break that before you do anything. You could target that with this continuation. I just don't know how the options volume is currently. How do you think anti-IPO will affect Alibaba's share price? I think Alibaba's going to go up regardless. So again, I like it long term. When it comes to options, maybe take a look at the 315s for next week. Here, not exactly at this level. I'd wait for a little more of a push. But again, I don't think Ant will affect it in a negative side at all. What growth stocks are a buy at the moment? Well, at the moment, right now, you're not getting enough dip to get into anything. But again, I think Square is a great one to get into. I think Baba is fine to get into. I think Amazon's great to get into. I think Microsoft and Apple, or any time is good to get into those names. What do you think about Rocket Mortgage? Yeah, I've had that question a lot about Rocket Mortgage. The only thing about Rocket Mortgage is that I don't like financials right here. The only financial company I like is JP Morgan. And that's pretty much due to the Fortress balance sheet. You know, they're the bellwether of the bank names. Dividend is decent, but I love the management. I love Jamie Dimon. Other than that, the only financial companies I want to own are FinTech, Square, and PayPal. Those are really the two you want to own. So again, I wouldn't want to buy Bank of America. I wouldn't want to buy Citi. Citi's okay. Goldman Sachs is okay, but again, or Rocket Mortgage, I'm not seeing anything there that I want to get into. I mean, the housing market is already hot. Do you think it's going to get hotter? Do you think rates are going to go lower? If rates go lower, then Rocket Mortgage will benefit because of more refis. But if you think we hit a bottom in rates, which I do believe, I don't think we're going to get lower, then Rocket Mortgage doesn't really have more upside, in my opinion. I got in a snap put yesterday. Nice. Netflix. Netflix is a good growth name, absolutely. Again, Netflix likes to pull this where you start getting, a better, worse than expected sub number, and then it falls, and it's just been kind of treading water after that fall, right around 48.50. I have an alert at 409.91 to add some more. So again, I'm gonna wait for that. Again, that's about $80 away. I'm okay with waiting for that. I think Netflix is a buy here, regardless. Long term, I love Netflix and I own it. How's Target look? I have the November 165 calls. Okay, actually 165 calls, it's actually not bad. You actually have a little more room to go and you're basically just sideways. The thing with Target is that it's a very slow mover. So again, the retail names like a Costco, sometimes Walmart a little more moves, but Target is kind of sideways. So again, as long as you kind of hold up that 200-day moving average around 160, 254, you should be okay. What's a good price to get into Adobe? I don't own the Adobe stock by itself. I own it in SpyG. And I think Adobe here is fine. Adobe right at $495 is a good price to get in. Absolutely. Oh, I actually missed your question, Gareth. My apologies. Totally missed it. FBA filled the gap. 290 calls. Let's see. 290 calls. We actually had Facebook yesterday. I would wait for that 283 to break or 282.47. If it does, then I get in. I still think Twitter would probably be the better play. It's actually a little cheaper. But Facebook or Twitter are probably your best, are really good plays here. But Facebook needs to break 282.48 at least. All right, no sweat, Gareth. Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it there. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, tonight is the presidential debate. We will be on Twitter. If anything changes, we'll let you know. As always, have a great rest of your day. Make sure to like and turn on notifications for our channel. Turn on be a subscriber, and so we can do the live trading session. You guys really enjoyed it last time. I'm ready to do it again. So again, we need 5,000. We are currently at 4,956. So we just need 44 more subscribers. So tell your friend, tell your neighbor, tell your side piece, your baby mama, who cares. Make sure to sub so we could do a live trading session. GME breaks fighting that 14 range, waiting for a break. Yes, it is waiting for a break. You do need a break of 14.85. Once you get to 14.85, then it'd be nice because then it'll break 15 and then 16 will be a target. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Carlos Garcia again, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Have a great rest of your Thursday, guys. Enjoy.